Hi there and welcome to your yoga class. Today it's all about flexibility. Of course we do work in flexibility a lot of the time, most of the time when we're doing yoga, but we are going to concentrate on it a little bit more today. And what is important to remember is that flexibility is not about getting your legs straight, it's not about being able to bend furthest, it's about improving on your own flexibility. That might be going from super bent legs when you're in a forward fold to maybe slightly less of a bent leg. So it's about building that flexibility up. So that's what we're going to be focusing on today, but we're going to start in an easy seat. Now, sitting with your sit bones on the mat, you might find it easier even to sort of just fidget about, get there, get nice and comfortable, hands nice and relaxed, either clasped in front of you or leaning on your knees. That's absolutely fine. And shut your eyes as well. You don't have to. If you're not shutting your eyes, just keep your gaze softly focused. And we're just going to start breathing. Remember to keep that spine lovely and straight, as if there's an imaginary bit of string pulling you up towards the ceiling. In through the nose, out through the nose. And let's concentrate on, at this point, equal breaths. So as usual in yoga, we are filling up away down from the pelvis, up to our rib cage, right up to our collarbone, and right round to the back as well. This whole area, we're trying to fill that up with air to get nice full breaths. So nice equal breaths. You can count them if that makes it easier, you know, breathing in for 3, breathing out for 3 or 4, as the case may be. So you can count them as well. Sometimes it makes it easier to focus. It's up to you. So get that breathing established. Make sure your shoulders are down, relaxed, down and back. Seat bones are on that floor, and you've got a nice straight spine. And what we're going to do now is we're going to slightly lengthen the exhale, okay? So regardless of how long you're inhaling for, just make that exhale a couple of counts longer, okay? So you're inhaling and then elongating the out breath. So let's do a few rounds of that again. And we're doing this breathing exercise because it helps you to relax. All breathing does, but this breath, especially with the longer exhale, is going to encourage that relaxation response, which is especially important when we're concentrating on flexibility, because a lot of the time we tense up or we think, oh, that's quite uncomfortable, and by doing these elongated out breaths, it can help us to relax into the pose that little bit more. So if you can try and keep, especially in maybe a challenging pose for you, remember that this breath, the inhaling for a few counts and then exhaling for a few counts longer than the inhale. Okay, so just trying that out, seeing what suits your body. That's it. And then slowly opening your eyes. And you can keep that breathing going absolutely throughout your whole practice if you like. It's quite hard to remember all the things going on, but it's an option for you. So we're going to start by lifting up our shoulders and rolling them back. That's it. Really simple, but really nice to get rid of the tension up here. That's it. So shoulders up and back. That's it. Inhaling in the way up, exhaling on the way down, and trying to match your breath to the movement as much as you can. As I say, there's a lot going on, so don't stress too much about it. That's it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drop the right ear to the right shoulder. And that's all we're doing, is just dropping the ear over, but we're not hanging about there too long. We're going to come over to the other side. So we're going to inhale one way and then exhale the other way. So inhaling all the way over to the right, exhaling all the way over to the left. Like a very slow tick-tock motion. That's it, get some movement in. And we do this in quite a lot. A lot of the time we'll hold this in a static hold, but it's nice to have the mobility as well. And you should be able to feel that nice big stretch. That's it, a couple more. And then bringing your head back to the centre. So we're going to do a seated cat-cow a little bit differently as usual. We're going to inhale and bring our hands to the front. Exhale, push them back. That's it. So inhale, round the back, and exhale, push the chest out. That's it. Inhaling, forward, exhaling, pushing the hands back, and just keep that little motion going so that you're getting a little bend in your spine as well. So you're not just sitting up and just putting your arms in and out. Get the torso involved as well. Lovely. Nice and slow and controlled, and it's waking your shoulders up as well. So we're going to do a little side bend now. So putting your right hand on the floor and your left hand, now really reach that, let's just not stick our hand up, really reach up, stretch the side, and then inhale and then exhale, coming over, reaching up and over. So not just reaching over with a hand, up and over, until you feel that super duper stretch up the side. And don't lift this knee off the floor either. We don't want that happening. And then coming down, and the same on the other side, up and over, or an exhale. Lovely, and coming back to the middle. Now let's come into a tabletop position. So hands are nice and wide and splayed. Shoulders above your wrists and hips above your knees, and your toes can be tucked or untucked. It's up to you. Now we're going to do a couple of cat-cows. You can do them in this normal position that we start from, or if you want to, you can turn your hands round so that your fingers are pointing back the way if you want that extra wrist stretch. See how you get on, but you can do it normally with your hands pointing forward. And we're going to inhale on the way up and exhale on the way down, and push that back up to the ceiling. Push the tummy to the floor and the head's up. Okay, so get a nice wee flow going. Exhaling, curling round. Inhaling, coming up. Waking that spine up just that little bit more. That's it. Inhaling the way up. Exhaling the way down. Lovely. And then bringing your wrists back round. Give them a wee circle because it's quite a strong stretch, that one. That's it. Lovely. And from here we're going to come into puppy dog pose. So keep those hips above those knees there, okay? We don't want to be coming forward or back. Keep them right there, and just walk your hands forward, okay? And melt your heart down to the floor. Your chin may come to the floor, your head may come to the floor. You might not be at the floor, that's fine. You can rest your head on a block if you want to. And just nice deep breaths. That's it. Feel your chest melting towards the floor. Nice big stretch. And then, staying there but bringing your elbows back, we are going to lie down on our front in a sphinx pose. So the top of the feet are on the floor, your elbows are on the floor, and we're going to come up to a sphinx pose, just like this, okay? Now you can adjust it as you need to. You are going to be feeling compression here in the back. That's absolutely fine, okay? Now if it's too much for you, slide those elbows forward a little bit and you'll see that it will take the bend in your back down. Because you don't really think of this as a flexibility one, do you? Because you're like, I'm just on the floor and on my elbows. But this is a back bend, okay? You're flexing the front of your body, you're bending your back. So it's most definitely a back bend. That's it, keeping your breath coming in and out. Staying there for a few breaths. Then we're going to come back to a child's pose, a wide-legged one. So coming onto your knees, put your big toes together, knees out nice and wide as you like, and bring your bottom back towards your heels and stretch forward and feel that nice child's pose. Just decompressing the spine. And do remember, just go as wide as you want with your knees. Just stay in there for a wee second, but keep your knees nice and wide. And there's a few variations of child's pose. We can have our knees together as well. But come as wide as you want, as long as, you know, it's your practice and it's got to feel comfortable for you. So adjust it to what you need to do. So we're going to come up onto our hands and knees now. Back into tabletop position, tucking your toes in. We are going to pop our bottom up and come into downward dog. So bottom up first, then come back, walk the dog if you feel the need. Hands are shoulder width apart, feet are shoulder width apart. That's it. Stretching out, looking towards the back of the mat. A nice big downward dog. That's it. And then we're going to raise our right leg up in the air as much as it will go, and then bend your knee. So don't twist your hips, just bend your knee and feel that stretch in your thigh. Try and keep that left foot where it was. Don't go bending it or moving it or anything like that. And then what we're going to do is take this right foot between our hands at the front. If it doesn't get there the first time, just pick it on up and bring it up there and put the back knee down, okay? So we're in this sort of position now, a low lunge, okay? Toes can be tucked or untucked. So from here, adjust it to what you need. You might be here and think, that feels absolutely fine. You might want to just move your foot forward and come into a deeper lunge. Adjust it to what you need to, but just remember that knee's not to go in front of your foot, above your ankle ideally. And we're going to come into a lovely crescent lunge, so our hands are just going to come up. That's it. And you can have your hands straight up if you want, or you can take this into more of a back bend. It's up to you. Looking up, feeling the stretch between your thighs. Sink your hips down as well. Okay, and then from here we're going to come into half splits, okay, with a bit of a difference. You're going to shift your hips back, this front heel goes onto the floor and your toes are up, okay. Now you might want to just come down like this, feel the stretch in your front knee, front leg, sorry, and you can bend your knee as much as you want, or if you want to, you can actually come back and sit on this back foot at the back. Inhale and fold forward, okay? It's a wee bit more intense if you want to do that, but remember you can still be up. So you come down here for a little beat, then you're coming back up into the low lunge. That's it, nice crescent lunge. Adjust that front foot if you need to. And then exhaling, coming back down. Remember, you don't have to come right back down. And then inhaling, coming up again. That's it, getting into your nice wee flow, and then exhaling. Remember, you might be here. That's fine as long as you're feeling it on the back there. Lovely. And then up again. And one more. Wonderful. So from here, let's tuck the back foot, put the front foot on the floor, and we're going to come up to a pyramid pose. So that means this back leg is going to be straight, your hips are pointing forward, okay? You might need to adjust the distance of your feet, that's absolutely fine. Front foot is pointing forward, and this knee might be bent, it might be straight, but we're coming in to a pyramid pose here. So just melting your chest down towards your knees, hands might be on the floor, might be on the legs, but legs are as straight as you can have them. So from here, what we're going to do is, this back foot's kind of pointing forward, okay? It shouldn't be out to the side, it's pointing forward. So we're going to bend both knees, so you're coming into a sort of, as if you're going to start a race. Then you're coming back, flex the toes up, okay? So come forward, and then flex the toes up. So that back leg's going straight again. So bend, and flex, that's it. So we're doing about 5 of these, bending and flexing, lovely. Bending and flexing, and one more, bending and flexing, and then coming into a lovely low lunge, just like this, that's it, and shifting that right foot back into downward dog. Have a lovely stretch. Remember that breathing. Yes, remember the breathing, and just take note of how the different sides of your body are feeling as well. Pushing the mat away with your hands. Remember, your knees might be bent in downward dog. That's absolutely fine. And then we're going to lift the left foot up, just as far as it'll go. Remember, nothing's changing. We're not twisting the hips round. We're not doing anything like that. And then bend your knee, and don't move that foot on the floor. You're just bending your knee, feeling the stretch in your quad. And then you're bringing your foot forward to between your hands. If it doesn't get there, just lift it up and bring it forward, and the back knee comes down. Coming up into your lovely lunge. Adjust that front foot as you need to. Sink the hips down. Lovely. And then remember, heel on the floor, toe up, and you might be here to straighten this leg, or you might want to come back on to your foot and forward fold over your leg. Okay, but from there you need to come up again into your crescent lunge, and then exhale, forward fold, or you may be having your hands on the mat, not coming right down onto your bottom. Inhaling on the way up and exhaling on the way down. So it's really good for our flexibility in the back of our leg here, but for our mobility in our hips as well. We're asking a lot of our hips here. That's it. And you don't need to be coming and sitting right down, remember? And then coming up, as long as you're doing it about 5 times, that's fine. And up again. So remember, this front foot is going to be straight. We're going to come into our pyramid pose. So tuck the back foot, coming up into nice straighter legs. They don't need to be absolutely straight. Into your pyramid pose. So feet are pretty much pointing forward, okay? Your hips are pointing forward, and you're just bringing your chest over to your thigh. This might be a wee bit bent, this leg. That's absolutely fine. Just pausing here, feeling the stretch, and then you're going to inhale, bend your knees as if you're about to start a race, and then coming back up on your heel here, okay? Toes up. So bend, that's it. So back leg's nice and straight, flexed foot at the front. Bend, toes up. Bend, toes up. Lovely. And one more. Bend and toes up. Lovely. So, hands on the floor, stepping back to downward dog. And walk that dog out again if you want to. That's absolutely fine. And we're going to come into pigeon pose now. Okay, so right leg up in the air as we were. Now this time we're going to bring our right knee to our right hand, okay? This foot will come in. Your foot will come onto the mat, your calf will, and then you're going to stretch the back foot back, top of the toes on the floor. And this is you in your pigeon pose. Now you might need to fidget about a wee bit to get comfortable. Make sure those hips are square, okay? It's tempting to do this and go onto your other, your right buttock, okay? So make sure your hips are nice and square. You can also, if you've got a block, you can put that under your buttock as well, because that means you can relax into the pose a little bit better, okay? So it doesn't mean to say that you can't do it as well if you need a block. So keeping up nice and straight. You can stay like this if you want to, or you can come and fold over your front leg. Okay, keep those hips square, keep them coming down. Now if this is all too much for you, you can keep the front knee as it is, but you can bend that back knee and sit up nice and straight if you want to. Okay, in a sort of deer pose. We call this one. So as long as you're sitting up nice and straight, okay? But you might be down here, top of the foot on the floor, and let those thighs and glutes relax as much as possible. I know it's not that easy. And this is where your breathing that we talked about at the beginning comes in really, really handy. Longer exhales. That's it. So just pausing there for a little bit longer than we normally do. That's it. And then to come out of this, what we're going to do is come up, walk your hands back up. You are going to put your weight onto your alternative face you for this one, so you can see. So we're in this sort of position here, okay? Hips are nice and square. So you're going to go on to your right buttock, okay? And then you're going to bring this left leg round and cross it over. So we're in this sort of position. So the right leg's back and bent, the left one's round the front. And then what you're going to do is you're going to hug your left leg with your right arm and twist round to the back. And you'll feel a lovely big stretch in your glute there as well. I'll just swivel round so it's in the same position as before, so not throw you off. So we're in this sort of position here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come back round to the front. This leg on top, you're going to hold on to it. You can hold on to the leg or the foot. You might want a strap for this as well. And then what you're going to do is straighten it as much as you can with your back straight, okay? This isn't counted. You've got to keep that leg nice and straight with your back nice and straight. Okay, no humpy backs. Lovely. So bringing this foot down again. Now make sure when you put your left foot down, it's planted and it's secure, and I'll show you why in a wee second. So this left foot is planted and secure. Put your hands on the mat and you're going to shift your weight forward and come up to stand on your left foot into a standing split, okay? And you're going to come down with the right leg and back up again. Down with the back leg and back up again. That's it. 5 times on this side. That's it. And one more. And coming down and put both your feet together and you're going to forward fold over your, now remember your knees might be bent in the forward fold. Forward fold. That's it. Then from here we're going to come into Malasana. So widen your feet out, slightly wider than hips. Toes pointing out, and we're going to squat back and down, okay? So come down as far as you can, coming right down possibly, and if you're right down, put your elbows against your knees against the elbow, and keep that back nice and straight. You might want a blanket under your heels. If your heels are up, that's fine. And drop that tailbone, sink into it, and relax as much as you can. That's it. So nice deep breathing. And then from here, you're just going to put your hands on the mat from whichever position that you're in. So you might be here, and then you're going to step back to a downward dog. Here we are again. That's it. So we're going to do all that on the left hand side again, okay? So you're going to lift your leg up, left leg up, bend at the knee. Get that quad moving and stretching. That's it. And then we're going to come into pigeon pose again. So left knee to left hand, rest it on the mat. Shuffle that foot back. Now you might find this side is totally different again. Foot flat on the floor, and you might want to stay like this, or you might come right down. Remember your breathing. Hips are square, and you can always put a wee block here if you want, because it actually does allow you to relax right into it a little bit more. Or a cushion or anything you've got, rolled up towel, doesn't need to be a block. So feel that stretch, and it is an intense stretch, this one, for your glutes and your hips. So you won't be the only one that's feeling it, don't worry about it. Nice big deep breaths in and deep breaths out. That's it, keep those hips square, as tempting as it is to fall onto that left buttock. Keep them nice and square. And then walking back up, you are going to put your weight in your left buttock now, and then bring that right foot round into a nice cross. You're sitting with sort of cross legs, right legs on top, left legs below. Okay, so sitting up nice and straight, you're going to hug the right leg, hands coming behind you, and you're going to twist. You can look behind or look to the side, but as long as you've got a twist with a nice straight back. That's it, keeping your breathing going, and then we're going to do that flex leg again. So holding on to your, you can do this, or you can hold on, or if you've got a strap, but make sure the back is straight, the chest is up, okay? For a nice stretch on your hamstring. And remember, we're getting up onto our feet after this, so just starting to think about it and putting that right foot down. Because once you think about it, you think it really does matter where I put my foot here. So putting your right foot down, you can use your hands to help you up, absolutely. Get your weight on it first of all, hands on the mat, and you're going to stand up and bring your leg right up into the standing splits, okay? and then bring your leg down. You can bend that front knee when you bring your leg down as well, and up. That's it. 3 more. Down and up, down and up and down and up. That's it. And then put your feet together. Forward fold on an exhale. That's it. And then we're going to come into that yogi squat again. So feet apart, 10 to 2, hands in prayer position, and just come down as far as is available for you into your yogi squat. And when you're down here, you should be feeling pretty secure because your elbows and knees are pressing against each other there. Back's nice and straight, your hips are sinking down. You're feeling good down here, I hope. Nice big deep breaths. Lovely. So from here, we are going to come into a nice child's pose. So come in and put your knees together, feet down on the floor, tops of the feet on the floor, bum back as far as it will go, head on the floor and hands next to your feet there. And just relax there just for a little minute or two, okay? And you'll feel this differs a lot from the child's pose we did before because our back's getting much more of a flexion to it there. So we're stretching off in a different way. They're both good, they're both lovely, but they're just a little bit different. So we're going to come into, you can stay in child's pose there and continue to rest. You can hold onto your heels here. So we're here, forehead's on the floor, hands are on the floor. Back of the hands for child's pose. So holding onto your heels, you're just going to rock forward and bring the crown of your head onto the floor and your bum up. That's it, into rabbit's pose. Just gives a little bit more rounding to the back. You don't have to do this. You're perfectly welcome just to stay here. Lovely. And then slowly coming back up, we're going to come into straddle pose. So that means sitting with your legs as wide as is comfortable. Well, not too comfortable. Okay, so when your legs are out here, we don't want any pain at all. You have to set yourself up in these positions because it gives you the best chance of stretching and moving to your capabilities. So feet are pointing up, okay, legs are pretty active. Now your legs can be bent, okay, I don't want you getting any pain in the back, so this is fine, okay, but no cheating if you can sit like this. And remember that pelvis, because see if we're sitting with our pelvis tilted back, leaning forward and doing all these other things are really difficult. So put your hands at the side and tilt the pelvis forward. And you're already giving yourself a bit of a chance to go that wee bit further or to be able to stretch a wee bit more effectively. So we're going to do a side bend first of all. And what that means is the left hand comes to the inside of the left leg, right hand goes up, and it's a side bend. We're not coming forward, so it goes up and then we're coming to the side. Now your left elbow may go onto the floor. You might want to hold onto the inside of your foot as well. But it is a side bend, try and keep that hip on the floor, okay? Or you might be like this, or you might just be like this, because we want to keep that chest nice and rotated. And then coming up, we're going to do the other side, same thing, hand to the inside, and we're bending over. You might want to hold on to the foot. Your hand might be reaching your foot. But keep that chest, we don't want you coming forward and reaching your foot. Keep the chest rotated, okay, and keep that bottom on the floor as well. So coming back up into the middle. Now this time it is a little bit different because what we're going to do is turn towards our left foot. So you are rotating your torso, inhaling and lengthening your spine, and then coming over, watch that hip on the floor. That's it, into a nice forward fold. Chest towards thighs, okay, not just a sort of humpy over thing. Chest to thighs. You can hold on to the foot. You might want a strap for this as well. That's it. And remember, this is where the longer exhalations can really help you as well, because this is an intense stretch as well. That's it. And then coming back up, same to the other side, mindfully turn round, then exhale over your foot. Okay, strap, absolutely fine, jumper, whatever, it doesn't matter what you use. Your hands might be here, that's fine also. As long as you're feeling it up there, We're all good. So coming back up again, we're going to come to the middle now, okay? Remember, you can bend those knees if you need to. Shouldn't be painful at all on your knees. Wee bit of discomfort is okay, remember. So we're going to inhale and then come forward. Now, you can put your hands forward, just make sure you're not humping your back over. Try and keep your back nice and straight. It is harder if your back's nice and straight, but come over to as far as you can. Your elbows might be on the floor. Your chin might be on the floor. You might just be here. That's fine, because it's quite a big stretch. So here is absolutely fine as long as you're feeling that in your legs. That's what we're after, okay? So coming back up, okay, we're going to you can actually lift your legs in if you want to, because when you've been out there a while, it can feel quite a lot. And then we're going to do a wee windscreen wiper. Back and forward. This is really nice just for getting your legs moving, getting the blood flow moving again. Windscreen wiper. That's it. And then we're going to come back down onto our backs. That's it. We are going to point our toes, point our fingers, stretch. Nice big stretch. That's it. You're going to bend your knees, okay? Just let them fall apart. So knees are about hip width apart, they're not together. We do a few different spinal twists, but knees are not together, and you're just going to let them drop to the left, okay? So they're apart, they're staggered, okay? Hands are out to the side, and look to the right if you want to, or you might want to look up ahead, okay? But most importantly, both shoulder blades are on the floor, okay? If you're down like this and this shoulder blade's off the floor, then lift your legs a bit, okay? Again, you can put a block under your legs if you want to. But you should be feeling a lovely big twist on your spine. And then bringing your legs back up again. Same thing, just letting them drop over to the side. You can look to the left. If your knees are over to the right, you can look to the left. That's it. And then bringing your knees back up again, bringing your knees into your chest. Feel that lovely big stretch on your back, and let your legs come down into Shavasana position. Top of the hands on the floor, a little bit away from the body, and your legs are out, flopping open. And just take nice deep breaths just to settle yourself down. But whilst we're in Shavasana, you don't need to be doing anything special with your breath. It is a resting pose. And as always, you are welcome to continue your Shavasana on. If you want a longer Shavasana, you can do this for as long as you want. 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes is great. But it's really important that no matter how short a time you are, you at least give it a few minutes on the floor, just letting your body return to get back its equilibrium. And this is a good point, you know, when you're, for example, when you're on your computer and you click save as, this is what we're doing when we're doing Shavasana pose. You're clicking save as, you're getting all the goodness, you're storing all the goodness, all the work that we've just done. We've worked quite hard, done quite a few intense stretches, and this just gives your body a chance to recalibrate and get back to normal and save all that goodness for your next practice. And apart from all of that, it's just nice to lie. This is your permission slip to lie for a few minutes and think of no one else but you and how you're feeling. And also take note of, how do I feel after that practice? Do I feel different? Have I got any aches and pains? Do I feel better or worse? Or all these different things, and you're not analysing it, you're just noticing it. So we're going to start deepening our breath now. And stretch your arms overhead, point your toes, feet together. You might want to bend your knees. It's really important after doing your Shavasana that you start moving how you feel good. That might be by stretching, bending your knees. It's up to you, okay? And rolling onto your side's always a good thing. It's a good halfway point just before springing up, because it's very tempting to do that. And then using your arm to help, coming back up into a sitting position where we started. So sitting with your legs crossed in a comfortable position. I hope this practice heals and strengthens your body and your mind. Namaste. Thank you very much for joining me for a lovely flexibility flow. Hopefully you will feel the benefits of this either today, next couple of days, that sort of thing. As usual, any requests, please message me, or any questions. If you think you're maybe not doing the pose right or you're not feeling it in the right places, by all means message me and I will come back to you and help you as much as I can. But apart from that, I will see you next time for your next yoga class. See you later.